Libertarians believe your mind, your money, and your property are yours. We will defend you against any entity that wants to take those things from you. Libertarians believe the logical argument to stay within the Democratic or Republican parties is over. And if anyone still has hope, things will change. They have not been paying attention. This nonsense can all end November 4th. To facilitate the changes in the way Minnesota is run, we need new leadership in St. Paul. We need a governor who does not ask the leaders of the police state what they think we should do about legalizing marijuana. We need a governor who does not raise the tax on a pack of cigarettes $2 and then give it to a billionaire. We need a governor who says, wait a minute, if I'm now wearing my seatbelt, shouldn't my car insurance rates go down? We need a governor who says places of business should decide for themselves if guns or e-cigarettes are allowed in their own establishments. We can help bring good paying jobs to Minnesota by creating a skilled workforce and lowering taxes by creating competition for every taxpayer dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found that governor for you. Currently, however, he is just a candidate. We will need your help to make him more. Our candidate is a longtime St. Paul resident, where he lives with his lovely wife, Angie. He enjoys the outdoors, plays guitar, sounds like a baseball coach. Takes his own beer, and has worked as a sales rep in the forest and building materials industry for over 15 years. He's active in local community, in his local community, and he's ready to serve as your next governor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your best governor, your best candidate for governor, and the only Liberty candidate for governor, Chris Holbrook.
Thank you. I think I'm going to ditch the mic. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Small room. Rich, still here. Going to be a tough act to follow, but I'm going to stick to note cards. I've got 10 note cards for 10 minutes. I know you want to hear Mr. Swan, but some of you heard the speech this morning, so apologize if the jokes are the same. I'm extremely thankful, grateful, honored, humbled to be representing the Libertarian Party in the gubernatorial race. My name is Chris Holbrook, H-O-L, as in Liberty, B-R-O-O-K. I realize none of you know who I am. That's exactly how I like it. That's how I've always liked it up until now. Privacy is important to me. It's important to all libertarians. Libertarians like being left alone. We hold everyone's right to be left alone very dear. The problem is we're not being left alone. The government is intruding too much into our lives right now, and we need to push back. It's our duty to push back. Thomas Jefferson told us in the Declaration of Independence we need to throw off government when it becomes abusive and intrusive. Thomas Paine said government in its best state is a necessary evil, and its worst state an intolerable one. We're not quite too intolerable, but we're getting there. Anyways, that's why I'm running. That's why I'm running for governor. I'm running for myself, my rights, your rights, people I know, people I don't know. I'll give you a quick past, present, future that exists. Myself, I grew up, my dad was a farmer, joined the Air Force, met my mother who was a school teacher, bred like rabbits, had 5 kids, consecutive years. I'm the oldest of 5 boys. Never had a lot of money, it was tough, but we were raised to be happy, honest, grateful, self-sufficient. We were raised to work smart and to work hard. They work so hard now in their retirement, they own 2 taverns. I think they put in more hours now than they ever did in their day jobs. I've worked several jobs, I've lived several places, I've gone to several schools. He used the Mark Twain quote, which I love, don't let schooling get in the way of your education. So I've gotten a pretty extensive education in life. That and learning how much I love people, the uniqueness of people, has really helped me become a great salesman in my industry. Like David mentioned, I work in the building materials wholesale distribution industry. I sell lumber basically to lumber yards. And last year alone I did a little over 20 million in sales. So I know how to run sales, I know how to run budgets, I know how to run businesses. My lovely wife over here, who doesn't want me to point at her because she's very shy. Her and I also buy, sell, rehab, rent investment properties. So we've done a lot of projects like that that have taught us the difference between a plus sign and a minus sign. That investment property strategy is our get-rich-slow plan. It's our retirement fund. We really don't think Social Security is going to be there for us. I'd like to opt out of it if I had the option. She's going to be my treasurer, the brains in the family. She's always my treasurer, actually. She's actually leaving her property management job to work with her mother in an independent business, and I love the total libertarian hours. Posted on their website, they open in the afternoon and they close in the evening. So that being said, my journey to becoming a libertarian became official about a year ago. I know many people have an extensive Ron Paul background. I swallowed the blue pill and got out of the matrix about a year ago. Became an official member, my first membership in any party. I always thought the two-party system was what you had to do. You had to hold your nose, you had to pick one, live with it. Even though the two parties are really one party right now. Anyhow, I've always been active in my support. I don't like to just complain about things. I like to do things. I like to act and try and change it. In the last election cycle, I was supporting Kurt Bill's. I like the Tea Party message of smaller government, fiscal responsibility. I like what he was saying on balanced budget amendments, on term limit amendments. I was at one of his speeches and a woman came up to me and demanded that I vote to ban gay marriage. She was very adamant about it. I'm not going to go through the whole story with you, but obviously I told her I'm not there to endorse or deny any kind of ethical, moral, personal behavior. I'm there to find a candidate who is going to protect my rights, not limit them. My rights include my property, my money, my budget. That really upset me. And that was kind of the aha moment where I thought, if I have to fall in line with conservative morals, I need to find other options. I have great morals, I'm not deviant, but that's up to everyone to decide on their own. That being said, I came to see the shining city on the hill of the Libertarian Party, and a party I really believe is acting to make change. Not so much like the Tea Party, which is not really a party, it's a philosophy. Trying to change the two-party system. We all realize the two-party system is the problem. People want more options. And that's where we are today. So without going through the entire platform, lumping it into a couple categories. One being your personal freedoms. I believe in your liberties, your freedoms. As David said, your mind is yours, your body is yours to do with what you want. As long as you don't hurt someone else, the police, the government should not be telling you what to do. We know that Mark Dayton doesn't necessarily agree with that, as he has been pointed out. As he has telegraphed ahead of time, he's going to veto a medical marijuana bill based on what law enforcement has told him is the right thing to do. Same thing he did on the fireworks bill 2 years ago. He vetoed it because law enforcement said it could be dangerous. They're called law enforcement. It's not law creation. We the people create the laws. The police serve and protect at our discretion. It's not. I think he's got it the other way around. So my second section is economic freedoms and liberties. We have way too many restrictions and regulations on our businesses. We need to stop suffocating them. I really believe we need to separate business and government to the extent we separate religion and government. There should not be any endorsement of a business with a no-bid contract. There shouldn't be a penalty to a business with eminent domain, with seizures, with excessive fines, with evictions. Government should not be picking winners and losers. You should be able to sell what you want, when you want, hopefully lots of it. Don't limit my ability to make money in my business, which is for myself. The free markets will decide what businesses people want and which ones they don't. So we don't need so many laws against smoking, marijuana, on Sundays, fireworks, firearms. There's a new regulation I just saw yesterday, I think, at Lake Mille Lacs, resorts and anglers just filed a lawsuit against the DNR. You're nodding your head.
Yeah, I read the story.
Yeah, there's a new law. On Lake Mille Lacs, you cannot catch a walleye before 6 a.m.
All I know what time.
No. Are you kidding me? That's the best time to catch one. There's no place for that. The lake belongs to the people, okay? They're stewards of it. The government isn't helping in those situations. It's hurting us. It's not giving us more value. It's giving us less value. We need more competition in general, not more control and limitation. Lastly, I just want to touch on budgetary situation. I feel we're overtaxed, we overspent. I think we're limiting the potential growth in this state with mandates on minimum wages, punitive income tax scales. Basically, we're saying to people, to businesses, the more you make, the more we're going to take out of your pocket, the larger percentage we're going to take. We shouldn't be penalizing success. I really think we need to treat everyone the same with some kind of flat tax or fair tax model. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I'm not an accountant. I have a day job. I'd love to study this and work with some professionals to develop the exact plan. But I do know this, that we have the third highest corporate tax rate in the nation, right here in Minnesota. It's higher than California. It's higher than New York. I don't think that's necessary. We lost Twin Cities Financial Bank headquarters to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because they have this much business tax over there. I think we could start by cutting that business tax in half tomorrow. The revenue collected from that alone is roughly equal to the surplus the governor is now trying to figure out what to do with it. It's such a small portion, it really, I think, limits our growth. Sales tax, that's another animal. Taxes aren't going to where they're collected from. There's actually an amendment in the Constitution stating that 40% of all vehicle sales tax has to go to pay for public transit. I think there should be user fees, things that pay for themselves with, don't rob Peter to pay Paul. It's a long discussion. The budget the governor is proposing for the next 2-year cycle, that Governor Dayton's proposing, proposes to increase spending 25% in this state, while our GDP is only forecast to grow roughly 11%. That's not right. How's he going to make up that difference? Any guesses? Taxes, new taxes. He's proposing new taxes right now on tattoos, haircuts, legal bills. I saw my wife earlier. So if we get sued by the state, we have to defend ourselves. We're getting taxed by the state to defend ourselves against the state. Okay, now the future, my plan. Instead of just complaining, I've got some ideas. Here's what I want to do. I want to run on a slogan of 2 words: legalize and minimize. Still cementing this, but Clyde has a great idea of using decriminalize with legalize. But legalize, I want to legalize marijuana, fireworks, beer on Sundays. I want to minimize corporate tax, income tax, and budget spending. Legalize, minimize. So So how do we go down this road? We need to put ourselves out there, like so many people have said today. Everyone's got some libertarian in them. We need to pull it out. We need to shine a light on it. Be human flashlights. We need to find areas of agreement, not get into arguments with people. We need to listen to them as much as we talk to them. We need to hear what's important to them, what they're saying. Keep sharing our message. Keep repeating it. We're socially liberal. We're economically conservative. Translated, legalize, minimize. People can vote different. They can vote their conscience. Hopefully they can vote libertarian. Say these things over and over. Be repetitive. Be redundant. Say them over and over. Nobody on that one? Yeah. Studies show it takes between 3 and 7 times for someone to remember something. There's a study that shows the majority of people think about politics less than 5 minutes per week. A third of those less than 5 minutes per month. 25% never. So you got to keep it simple. Obviously, 60% of all statistics are made up. So anyhow, work fun, work hard, work smart. Andy laid out some goals we have immediately on the petition drive. I have a Facebook page, the LPMM Facebook page and website. Please do what you can, donate. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask people to donate to make an investment in liberty. We'll do the fighting for them if they'll support us. If people want to do more, do something else, we need volunteers, members. They can run for office. And lastly, hopefully now you know a little bit more about my past, present, future, and I really appreciate any support for Chris Holbrook for governor.